Okay. Sorry, I cut that video a bit short. I didn't actually read as many poems as I would have liked to. Anyway, I did read 4 or 5 poems so far in this book, and I really enjoyed it. There's a nice flow in the poems themselves, but also between the poems that sort of builds and juxtaposes and works out quite nicely, I think. So the last one I read was Never Ending Till It Does. So And They Says It is next in the order. And They Says It. They Says It. They Says It. That might be a misprint in the title. They Says It. Or maybe it's Enda. Anyway, They Says It. Everything you write is doom and gloom, they say. You should write something cheerful and upbeat, they say. Try looking on the bright side of life, they say. Let a smile be your umbrella, they say. They say. They say a lot, and maybe they have a point, but they ain't me. Defiant. I like it. Everyone has an Ilsa. I enjoyed the flick as a kid, though I was unimpressed with Rick's crybaby attitude. That dim night in the Cafe Americain. As Sam's fingers tinkled the ivories, Rick had it all. He was handsome, cynical, and worldly. He had the coolest saloon in French Morocco. Why was he carrying on like that? It was only much later, when I was left standing in my own rain shower, hurt, confused, and enraged, that I understood why he hid himself away and simmered. That's a good one. I like that one. Now, I don't really remember the movie Casablanca at all, but it still works. All right. 3:51 a.m. 3:51 a.m. is a magical time when improbabilities look like possibilities. The conscious is working like a Rubik's Cube, matching up colors on each side, making sense of daylight confusions. Inevitabilities are more acceptable and a little less frightening. Making sense of daylight confusions, inevitabilities are more acceptable and a little less frightening. Knowing that's how it's got to be, because that's how it's always been, and there's nothing special enough about you to enable a rerouting of the time stream. The well-intentioned half-truths you hear from those who mean well, but lack the conviction to carry out their high-minded words, seem less deliberate and more a flaw in human nature. Failing at high-minded pronouncements is much more forgivable than succeeding at low-minded schemes. One more cigarette, and then it's time to put away the cube until tomorrow's darkness, and sleep the sleep of the kind-hearted fool. Now, I don't think I read that well, but I think it's actually a really pretty poem. It doesn't have punctuation in it, and that's interesting, because it forces you to sort of make up your own punctuation, and I think that's really good, because I didn't read it the way I saw it necessarily, or maybe the way I saw it wasn't the way it should have been read. Anyway, it makes you think about how you can phrase it, and it actually gives the individual phrases or the individual sort of thoughts a bit more poignancy perhaps, or impact. But this is one I'm going to reread quite a few times, I think, because I really like it. And it juxtaposes really well with the other poems so far, in tone and in construction, I think. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Listen to the Frogs. It took me decades of work, listening, recording, transcribing, translating, and listening some more. Summer after summer, night after night, down at the pond, dusk till dawn. It was a mission only important only to me, to learn what the frogs were saying. I poured my life into the pursuit, only to learn they were talking about me, and all the time and effort I was wasting. Oh, jeepers. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can see a little bit more wistful perhaps, or a little bit more sort of romantic. I don't know how many more I'm going to read. There's quite a lot of poems in here, and as I said, I'm enjoying it, but I don't want to spend all day reading poems. No, I mean, I do want to have a bit of time to mull them over myself and not just do them off the cuff like this, because I have done a couple of takes, I will admit, but I haven't had a lot of time to really digest what I'm reading, so I need to do that. Okay, one last one. Belly Up. The rural equivalent of Arthur's Round Table, the bed of a pickup truck, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, GMC, even Toyota, debatably. Big-bellied men who work, grind, toil at farming, constructing, welding, mechanicking, trucking, labouring, or what have you. Important men, necessary men, the backbone of a nation. Belly up to the bed, coolers full of beer, jerky and chips and candy bars. To carry on about carrying on. They can tell you how to fix any problem that comes to mind. They know what to do about the illegal immigrants, the needy minorities, the perverted homosexuals, the mouthy woman, the disrespectful children, the mayhem of mass media, the lies in social media, and the illusion of politics, not the end. You name it, they can fix it. You want to know about religion or UFOs, catfish bait or deer scent, Bigfoot or Big Pharma, engines or plumbing, JFK or 9/11, depression or drag shows. They know everything. They'll fill you in. Yet they can't make it home without a DUI.